So why is this cat looking at me like that? Like he's gonna do something. I'll break his face off. You're not gonna do shit. Watch, I'll walk up to you right now. You'll walk away like a pussy you are. What you there? Don't be rude, man. Have some respect for us humans. Looking at me like he's gonna do something. It's not gonna. You're a cat. You're a pussy. You're literally a pussy. That's why he walked away like one. Anyway, yeah. Hope you meant to laugh a little because that was actually pretty funny. Funny thing was, there's actually a fox prior somewhere behind me. Guys, it's all body language. It's all the way you. It's all about the way you walk, the way you move. I promise you, when I was walking here, I walked like I owned the place. Because I basically do 6 a.m. in the morning. You know. Anyway, enough of the, you know, the mini stuff. I want to get straight to the point now. I want to speak to you. I want to speak to you about primarily why, you know. 1 second. Cats. Wow. Hold on. There are so many cats in this area. You got one there. You got. Hold on. You got that. You got that, and you got that. 3 cats. That's crazy. The main source material of the video, I want to speak to you guys about why we shouldn't pedestalize women and why it's foolish to pedestalize women. Now, how does the whole, you know, process of pedestalizing women start? I think it's best if I speak on my own experiences. As I told you in my, I forgot what the video was titled, but I believe my 5-mile run about jacking off. I briefly spoke about the severe risks of porn addiction and the impacts it can give you. And I spoke to you guys about how you perceive women. It makes you a lot more anxious towards women, and you tend to view them as sexual objects, which isn't ideal. And that's something I suffered with for a very long time. And this all started in 2017, the moment I got a phone, and you know, you download a few social media apps and you see a lot of things that you shouldn't be seeing. And I just want to speak to you on why you shouldn't pedestalize women now. Like saying, just reiterated just now, we tend to put beauty on a pedestal, which doesn't really make sense to me. Like, I get it, but at the same time, it's very stupid. It's fucking stupid. And I'll tell you why, because back in the day, naturally, and this is the natural order of things and how... Hold on, I want to position myself. It's quite sad because I was actually speaking, but I pressed the pause button, so I don't know how far we're on right now. But yeah, I wanted to speak to you guys about the drawbacks of... I don't know if I said this already, so I may be saying the same thing twice. I just forgot where I was because I had to press the pause button, you know, and I spoke a bit, and then turns out I forgot a few things to say. But yeah, I'm just gonna pretty much talk about you know, the impact of porn addiction and how it ruins your self-perception of how you view women and whatnot. This is something I suffered with a lot in the past, and this began in 2017. Get your phone, you know, you download a few social media apps, Instagram, you know, Twitter, all that. I would even refer to it as good stuff. I would even refer to it as good shit because it's not good for you. There's a reason why I haven't used it in like 2-3 years now. But yeah, let's get more comfortable because, you know, 6 a.m. in the morning, no one's really here, so you know what I'm saying. Yeah, what else? Yeah, so the drawbacks. So yeah, it really ruins the self-perception because, as we know, social media is very heavily over-sexualized with the things they show. Because it's back in the day, I remember I was not. Back in the day, you know, during the primal caveman era, you know, you never really had as much access to the things you wanted. Let's talk about women, for example. You never really had as much access to that. You'd have to work your whole life just to see a pair of tits. As raw as that sounds, it's the truth, and I'm not gonna lie to you. A man would have to work his whole life, work his balls off to attract a woman. Yeah, alone a woman of high caliber. But now, and phones are relatively cheap nowadays, you don't really have to do much. You can be a fat slob with fucking bitch tits and still somehow attract a 10. I was fat a little 5 years ago, and that was exactly me. Just described me perfectly, you know. Social media is very bad because, as men, we all have the natural desire to want to fuck. Everyone does, and you can't control that. It's a part of you. You're a human. It's only natural that you feel that way. And there's no shame in admitting it. I do. I don't have sex, of course. It's fantastic. Never had it, but I know it is. You just inherently, instinctively know it's fantastic. know, it's nice touching, you know, into intimate areas of the woman. You know, I like boobs, I like this, I like Gucci. I don't know why people are so scared to admit, you know, just admit it. Hopefully, you watching me can just, you know, just open up the honest side of you, because I don't see the reason why I should be scared to admit what I like and what I dislike, the bad stuff about me. I don't care. Why? You got one life. You might as well be honest. It's not good to lie anyway, right? It's about time you have someone to relate to. Hopefully, I'm a breath of fresh air for you to watch. So where was I? I was speaking upon, yes, why we shouldn't pedestalize women. So, as you know, I'm gonna talk to you about the years 2017, pretty much to say 2020, 2024, which is nowadays. So yeah, you tend to pedestalize women. There's a lot of things in your face. You know, you're seeing all these hot women you having access to all these beautiful women for free. Obviously, like, and I mean that because you can literally type up their name, they appear. They're, you know, they're smoking gorgeous, they're hot. You see their tits, their ass, all that stuff. Unfortunately, like, why did these birds sound like humans? I don't know if you heard that. You see the coochie and whatnot. Things that we shouldn't be seeing, right? And it gives you the soft perception that you can get it, like you've already made it. And I remember we spoke a few seconds back about how a man would have to work his whole life. Well, you can do that in pretty much seconds. And how's that going to change the psychology of your brain? It's going to be in a much weaker state because you can obtain things you wanted a lot more easily. And that's the problem with the modern day. You can get things a lot more easily. Let's talk about getting a great physique, for example. For a man, on average, it'll probably take you around 5-10 years to achieve the physique you want. But nowadays, you can just take steroids and pretty much accomplish that in a year. Funny and quite ironic if you ask me, also, because, hold on, guys, you're not going to feel as fulfilled then if you were to work for it, because you never put in the work for it. You just took the easy way out. It's like the porn industry. We know how fucked the porn industry is, right? We all know porn is bad for us, right? And you know, a lot of these people that work in the industry, they're actors. They don't really want to do it. They're just doing it for money, which is really sad. And I kind of get it. I get it. Poverty, money is hard, but I don't get why you sell yourself out like that, because you're not gonna feel fulfilled. You're just gonna get, it'll be so tight, it's gonna destroy your spirit and whatnot. And it really fucks you up long term. But they put money as the pedestal, money as their god. It's really sad. And people who watch porn, me, unfortunately, a victim to this in the past. You can't help but pedestalize that. You're literally getting the most greatest pleasures in the world. Greatest pleasures. I'm saying greatest because you're not actually there. It's more so passive in the sense that you're watching. You're not actively doing it. Not to say that you should be actively being, you know, porn star or anything. I'm not saying that. I'm saying you're still watching people have one of the greatest pleasures, and it is stimulating. Your brain isn't very. I'm speaking from experience too. Your brain isn't very different from the way it was 2,000 years ago. It's pretty much the same thing. My experience with watching porn, whenever I'd watch porn, I'd feel like I'm in there, so I'd get stimulated just from watching. I know it's fucked up, I know, and that's what porn is bad, because it makes you the watcher. You're not the alpha. I don't like using these terms, but in this sense, I say it much pretty well. You're not the alpha, you're the bait. Because you're watching. Why are you watching? Why are you watching another man pursue the thing you want? Not to say that you should, you know, get the porn star in a video, but in the sense that every man wants to have sex, right? So why are you watching another man achieve something that you can get? Why are you watching sports? Why are you watching another man travel the world on the internet when, if you just put a few years to sacrifice as a man, you can achieve the life that you always wanted? So you don't need to watch other people live the life that you wanted. And so I want to speak about, this is going to tie along the lines of, you know, I'll split into two factors. It will tie along the lines of why we shouldn't, you know, be pedestalized anymore. Where should I start? So the first part I was thinking about speaking about was getting in shape and the benefits that come with that, and just simply having interactions with people. Now, since it was more so interactions that I experienced first, let's talk about interactions. Now, interactions. I never suffered with, you know, anxiety towards speaking to women in the past, as naturally shouldn't, because it's literally a birthright. It's human nature for a man to speak to a woman, or just a male speaking to a female in general. So, in primary school days, you know, this is pre-secondary school, so this is prior to September of 2018, so literally 7 years ago. You know, it's natural. Your brain is desexualized. You don't consume that type of content. Well, in my case, unfortunately, I was exposed to it at 6 years old, but it wasn't like proper, hardcore into that dark side of the web. It was more so cartoons, and it started off with the cartoon aspect of that, and then unfortunately, as I went on to my high school years, it went a bit deeper in the sense that you're exposed to social media and you see the negative side of that. And so I continue, and yes, at the time I still speak to beautiful because there was a lot of hot women like in high school, and I believe that's the case with everyone. When you're gonna experience a lot of beautiful women, puberty hits, you start developing more in the goal. But like I told you guys earlier, I was consuming a lot of social media content. It really fucks up your perception of how you women start to view them as things that they're not, sex objects and whatnot, and you start to forget that they're just people just like you. But social media just really rattles your brain, and it is your fault, but it's not your fault at the same time because a lot of people watch it. Check out the statistics. You'd be surprised how many people, and I've spoken to people back in school also. A lot of people watch that stuff. I get it, but I don't get it as well. I get it in the sense that yes, it's addictive, and you get your greatest pleasure, your natural desire to wanna reproduce through simply just typing it up and getting access to your dream woman through simply typing it up. But you're not actively in there. You're not actively pursuing your pleasures. You're passive. You're watching. You're not even there. They don't even know you exist. Who the fuck are you? You're just watching. And I can't help but cringe at my past self because it was very stupid. But I do pity him. And honestly, at such a young age that I've been exposed to it, it's not so bad. Of course, I was gonna get hooked. No one told me about this prior. Of course, I was gonna watch it. Now that doesn't justify watching it, but it's just sad. Now I wanna, so going back to the story, high school years, starting off with high school years, as we know, social media really changed your perception. And I'm right, I really felt dehumanized in secondary high school as well because we have these sets in terms of like just what I don't know, but we have set one, set two, set three, set four. I was in a low set, and you get a lot of shit from people. You get made fun of a lot. And that really lowered my IQ on top of already having my brain destroyed from social media, being unable to speak to beautiful women. So it was so bad I couldn't even look at them in the eyes. Even look at them in the eyes, start a conversation, which is really sad. And a lot of people struggle with this, and it's just sad that a lot of men do struggle with this, and they may not say it, but I can visually see it just through looking at them and how they interact with women. It just makes me really sad. So I'm just making this video to let you know that you're not alone. Obviously, I consider myself relatively confident. Not the most confident man alive, but I can empathize with you. I know what it's like to have a destroyed brain from all that disgusting, degenerate social media content, making you unable to do literally pretty much what should be natural, which is speaking to women. It just takes your desire away. It's very funny how that stuff works and how fucked up the porn industry is. But yeah, I digress. There were many times I speak to beautiful women in high school, and it's like it does destroy the false beliefs that you had that you're unworthy to speak to women. You just get that realization and say, yeah, of course, they're just human like you. But then all the messed up content you consume on social media really changes the perception of how you see things. So I remember back in my high school days, I'm speaking to a lot of hot chicks, and even though I proved to myself at that moment that you're worthy of speaking to these women, because everyone is, and it should have never gone to the point where you put limitations on yourself. You can't help it because you're devaluing yourself every time you consume that negative content. That's the drawbacks, and that's pretty much inevitable if you have that form of addiction for a long period of time. That's gonna happen, and you dehumanize yourself, you're devaluing yourself. You're basically, like I told you guys in previous parts of the video, I told you guys how naturally men are here, women are here, and that's not sexist or anything. It's the truth. Even to follow Adam, if you follow a woman, if you put the woman first, if you put your values below the woman, it's always going to go bad. Let's use Genesis for example of the Bible. Adam followed Eve. What happened? We will have problems now. If Adam just stuck and stayed hard, not in that sense, stayed hard in the sense like he stayed masculine, he stayed stoic, he led. I wouldn't be having my problems. I wouldn't be talking about my Mr. Problems to you, and you wouldn't have your problems also. We wouldn't even have the internet. There'd be no need. The world would be perfect, yeah, right? But unfortunately, the world isn't like that. Where was I? Yeah. So the false beliefs stems from you just devaluing yourself by consuming all this disgusting social media degenerate content. And like I said, it is your fault, but it's not your fault also because we're in a battle. The porn industry, they make billions, yeah, billions, and you're up against that. And you know how hard that addiction is. So the fact that you're even trying or even wanting to stop, I think it's worth the praise. So congratulations to you, and I commend you. I commend my past self also for really weighing the desire to quit and doing everything I could to quit. It was a struggle. It was a horrible struggle, but I'm not addicted to porn anymore. That stuff, like, it's just like after trial and error, it just rewired my brain. It's like I don't want to do that stuff anymore. Main reason why, simply my desire. I just want to speak to hot women again. You guys can critique me in the comments, say what you want. I don't lie in my videos, and from the past 15 minutes, I don't know if it's your first time watching me. You can pretty much tell that, and I don't believe it's worth repeating that. I don't lie in my videos. I'm very honest. I don't need to lie. And it's not true. I don't know a man in the world is ever speak to a woman you find attractive, let alone being hot. Of course, you're gonna want to speak. It's not true. The same way women would love to speak to a handsome man. Obviously, they're a lot more passive. They're a lot more shy than us. Social media has really destroyed our self-perception as well. Because back in the day, you found someone attractive, you just go up to them and speak. But you know how the internet is. It puts a lot of shit in your mind that you shouldn't be thinking about. Yeah, so I've spoken to many people in the past 7 years. I'm saying past 7 specifically because that's when you really, puberty hits in and you really just start thinking, the sexual thoughts. It just starts to develop a bit, which is natural as a human being. And that's why I never mentioned kid because kids, you just, your brain isn't matured that much yet. So, you know what I'm saying? Now I want to speak about getting into shape. I don't want to make this video too long because I already have an hour to record on my schedule. And I am a busy person. It's got things to do. But yeah, I want to speak about getting in shape. So I've gotten in shape, and I believe it was 16 years old where I first started to receive. I believe it. Yes, it was 16 years old. The first compliment I received from a woman is, "Oh, you're fit." She touched my abs. It was in some drama lesson. She's just like, "Yeah, you're really fit." Oh, okay, that's good. And I'd even argue let's talk about in terms of what men and women find attractive. Obviously, men, you find breasts attractive, you find arms attractive, you find hips attractive. Some you may even find thighs attractive. And obviously, what's down there, you find that attractive, right? I'd say the male equivalent to that is having a great body. So broad arms, big shoulders, abs, just a great upper body, just a great physique in general. I believe that's the equivalent of, great ass, great tits, pretty waist, and a pretty face. That's the male version. Our male version of that is simply getting in shape. It's also one of the reasons why it baffles me why not men don't even want to try because you don't want to try hot women. Come on, man. I know it's not everything, but come on, it's a nice experience that happens in life. The same way women they probably won't admit this, but they get that buzz from having other men attracted to them. It's not true. I feel ashamed to admit it's not true. I get my buzz from obviously I can motivate myself, but it's a nice external buzz having a female into you. And I did have days, and I'm not the best looking guy. I did have days, you'd get hot women attracted to you. And that actually really destroyed my false beliefs because I always had this perception of myself that I was really ugly. And this started in secondary school, just girls hit on me. And when I say hit on that, it would probably, from your perspective watching this video, probably seem like I was a public kid. Trust me, I wasn't. I barely got chicks. But the few hot chicks that did show some form of interest in me, I was like, okay, right? So I destroyed the false belief. Now I want to move on to college because I went on a bulk when I put on a lot of body mass. When I told you that I received a compliment at 16 years old, 2 years ago, being in shape. Yeah, but I didn't have a lot of mass, so I didn't really look as big. I was super lean. I was probably like 10% body fat, probably like 150 pounds or 154 pounds. But I was lean and muscular. Been training for 2 years at the time, 2.5, probably maybe towards 2.5 years. Being muscular, but I didn't really have a high body mass. I still had a relatively low BMI, so you can't really tell. So 17 years old, I went on a massive bulk and I went around like 170 pounds and even to 180 pounds. I remember this was probably this year and last year also. The girls in my college, man, like a guy's told you, I'm not even a good looking guy, but if you have a good physique, someone's gonna pay attention. Even the pretty girls. The girls in my class, they were pretty, and even I got attention for having a good physique. And then this is the interesting part. I want to speak about this year also, earlier this year. I remember I was wearing a t-shirt, just a little button-up t-shirt. A compliment I often get from people is that I have really big arms. I have 14 inch arms. I wouldn't class it as big, but I guess on the average side of height, I'm 5'9". So maybe it's perspective, and I'm relatively lean, probably like 12-40% body fat. And I weigh like about 80 kilograms. So I guess, judging from that perspective, you could class me as a big guy. Being lean also helps also. So a lot of people would say I have big arms. And I never believed that I had big arms. How am I looking, guys? I don't know. I am kind of. I can see that. But you see yourself in the mirror every day, and it's like, no, I don't feel jacked. It's very easy to feel like you're not making progress because you're with yourself every day. People that don't see you every day naturally, obviously they're gonna notice a difference. It's only natural. It's like growing taller. You won't realize it because you're with yourself every day. You blink and oh, you changed a lot. I get a lot of comments on how big I've gotten these past 4 years and 8 months, and it's really nice. It really boosts my self-esteem and whatnot. Jumping into the oh wait no, so two more stories on the table. This one's in college. It's like I get a lot of female attention from my class simply just for having a good physique. And I wasn't really good looking. I'd say I'm an average speaker. I'm not the best, so I'm an average person. I just chose to stay in the gym, and I love it. I love going to the gym. I love working out. Naturally, you're gonna build a body that you're proud of. And yeah, they wouldn't say it, but they made it clear because I did experience this one girl just staring at me quite often. It's funny looking back. I know it was only a few months ago, but yeah, to some extent, they all showed some form of attraction for me having a physique. I remember this was in January, so there was a 6'7" person in my class, and he probably had bigger arms than me. He was 6'7" and 5'9". We both tensed our biceps like this in front of them. Let me give you some context. So we're just talking about boxing. We're talking about how much we weighed, me and the 6'7" guy. I think it was about 80 kilograms. No, I was 81 kilograms at the time. And he was about 90 kilograms. In boxing, there's weight classes, right? And I was in the same weight class as him. So we would have been in the cruiserweight division if we were combat athletes. I'll leave it on the screen because you guys are probably like, what the fuck is this guy talking about? I got you, man. I got you, bro. I'll have that on the screen, okay? Yeah, so he was like, yeah, you're in the same weight division as me. Was that tension biceps? We both tensed our biceps. That was when a good shirt as well. Tucking sleeves were tucking in as well. And when you're short, it benefits you extra because you build muscle a lot quicker than a taller person. We were both flexing like that. And I remember it was so funny. There was there were two girls watching at the time. They were in front of us. They were both like, I was like, yeah. I was like, I mean, I don't blame you. But a specifically reaction to me. Now the funny thing was, the 6'7" guy probably had bigger arms than me naturally because despite being at class 90 kg as underweight 6'7", he could put a lot more mass. But the reason why I got more of the reaction and the attention because I had a higher BMI and I was lean. Then one of the girls, they offered to touch my biceps, which was, man, I was mad. I was a bit too. I'm not gonna lie. I was flustered at the time because I've never had anyone say that to me. I never had anyone say that to me. I was like, oh shit, okay. So I'm actually starting to attract women now. The thing I chased. Hold on, I'm gonna get deeper. So it's like the thing I chased. I'm actually starting to attract now. This starts to develop your brain in a mature sense, and it's actually positive in the long run. Sorry, that's okay. Alright, and then there's these other occasions I do lessons, they'd look back because I have a good physique. Okay, I'm like, you're me from secondary school when I used to, secretly, stare at naturally. And I know some people look good, but, admire you for the way you look naturally. So you're basically me. That person was basically me on social media when I used to stare at women, except they're doing it in real life. And when you start to attract women, you start to realize something. Oh, It wasn't as good as I thought it was. Like it is, it's still really good, but I say that because you know, when you pedestalize something that's imperfect, and that's pretty much everything in life, you just realize, oh, it's just that. It wasn't really worth. It wasn't really worth chasing after. And I just realized. I remember I used to like I told you guys in the beginning of the video, I'd always over sexualize my brain, and it makes the thing you're chasing seem way more glorious than it really is. It seemed like a promised land, just getting attention from females. And don't get me wrong, I'm not saying I don't enjoy it. It feels fantastic, trust me. But I pedestalized it like it was flipping heaven. It really isn't. And I just remembered, it's like, yeah, you're people just like me. Like even a month ago, this is my video when one of my videos a while back I documented my run that I went on, my group run I went on, and I think it was a picture of a football pitch, and it had motivational speech. Was that video? Yeah, and I was walking in the park. Before I actually tell you what happened, I want to speak to you guys naturally because I had to class myself as a relatively shy person back in the day. Every time I see a beautiful woman in front of me, I look away because I find them really attractive. So I always just have a tendency to naturally look away, which is feminine as fuck, I know. And hence why I had to rewind my brain to not doing that stuff. To which, yeah, I'm still working on. I'm not gonna lie to you guys. So, as I told you, I'm not that type of guy that just only tells you about, you know, the struggles you've had in the past, because that's the easy part. It's uncomfortable, but it's still the easy part. But telling yourself, you know, the struggles that you still somewhat faced, you know, that's the next level. Now, I believe it's all just down to the way my mind thinks at that point in time. Because there are times where I'm so in a flow state, I can just look at you straight in the eye. And there's other times I'm just really nervous. So yeah, it fluctuates, but the goal right now, and you know, with time and as I continue to progress throughout the years of my life, I'll document my experiences, and naturally I'm gonna be so confident with a second nature of women. Compared to what I was before, I was a lot more shy. I do get shy at times. I'm just being honest, I do get shy at times, which, I mean, can't really control the thoughts that come to your brain, but more so, I'm still working on my ability to master just, you know, not acting upon those type of thoughts when it arises with women, you know. So, where was I? I was speaking at, pardon. Hold on, guys, I'm just skeptical of time also. 6:44. 21 minutes, we still have plenty of time. Alright, so, yeah. I was in Shoreditch Park, and this was after I recorded that video, I believe. I was walking, and I'm a big guy. Like I told you, I get a lot of compliments for like, having really big arms for my height. And being lean and having a high body weight, BMI, etc. It's natural, it's gonna come. If you're training a lot and you're lean, it's kind of impossible to not have big arms. And so I knew I was big, and I know because I looked in the mirror, I was like, man. So that's how people see me. Because, you know, you tend to look at certain mirrors and you're with, like I said, you're with yourself every day, so you believe you're a lot smaller than you think. Until you look at certain mirrors, and that's how everyone sees you. Then you realize, oh shit, I actually am jacked. You know, all them days you work out, you believe. All them days you work out, you believe. Yeah, I'm not making progress. You are, but you're comparing. One, you're comparing. There's a progress of his progress, not our progress. And two, you're not given enough time, and you're impatient. You're impatient. Just trying to find another. Dog pee poo. Dog shit. Ah, that's kind of so unpleasant to look at. It's not nice to look at. It's a bit, and if I should film it, I just want to switch it up a bit. So yeah, this will be the last story I'll tell you. Yeah, so I believe this was about last month. Last month, I was walking straight, and there was two beautiful women in front of me, and I noticed they were looking away. I already knew why. The roles were reversed. The same way I told you guys how I used to always look away whenever I see a beautiful woman in front of me, they're beautiful. And then that's what you see of them, you know, what you see in front of them is what men deem attractive. Me having a great body is equivalent to the body parts I described earlier in a woman's perspective, but from a man's version. So I wasn't really surprised that they looked away, but I was like, oh shit. And I got that realization because, you know, like I told you guys in the beginning of the video, you consume all this disgusting degenerate content that you shouldn't, and it really rewires your brain to, you know, become a lot more shy and more feminine, and that's not a good thing for a man. And, you know, really destroys our confidence. Working out just does give you a lot of confidence. That's why I can speak, and there's many people that walk past and I don't really care. You notice in my videos I speak, there's a lot of people that walk past you, you just don't care anymore. And that's the mindset I've got. I'm not as confident as I want to be, but compared to what I was in the past, that's, I don't know if it's good. That family most of that missed up on me now. It's very good. And so I noticed, yeah, it was so obvious. They found my physique attractive, and I don't blame them because hey, every time I look in the mirror, I'm a no, because I built this from the ground up. No steroids, no nothing, just hard work and dedication to calisthenics. So I'm very proud of myself in that regard. I'm very proud, and I was just like, yeah, man. Oh shit, I should train women now. And you also mature in the sense that it's not worth chasing, and you should never make it your aim. Now I get it. I get it because I've been there. One of the reasons I still, there are many reasons, mainly with disrespect, but one of the main like driving factors for a man to want to work out, it's usually to attract females, and I don't blame you. It's a nice thing to experience. Naturally, as a man, you're born skinny. You don't attract the girls that you want yet. And, you want to build muscle, attract girls. That's great. And I still commend you. I still recommend you do that because I did. And there's some things you can tell someone, but they have to experience it themselves. So it's so easy for me to tell you, don't work out for girls and whatnot. And there may be a rare set of individuals that will actually take the advice, but sometimes you just have to experience it yourself. Like I knew when I began working out also, I was like, yeah, I don't want to work out to attract X, X, X. X is an example, and then of these X on the end, I said, you want to attract that one. I had to go through that. It's like I knew the answer, but I didn't know. I knew, but I didn't know. Didn't know because I didn't experience it yet. From just having a great physique, honestly, I strongly believe you don't even need to be that good looking. I'm average looking, but I truly believe an average looking face with a great body will make you an 8, 9, 10 guy as a woman. I truly believe that. I'm speaking because I attracted women that I thought, prior to when I was in shape, I'd never be able to attract. And I'm not saying I'm a handsome guy. I'm not saying, but I'm just saying having a physique is gonna draw some eyeballs. It's gonna draw some eyeballs. I feel it's safest to say you shouldn't pedestalize anything because it's not as good as you think it is. But it still goes back to what I said in the sense that you need to experience it yourself. So get in shape. 3, 4 years later, you can comment down below and say, "Golden, yeah, you're alright." But that's just me saying that. This is coming from someone who barely got attention for women, fat, skinny, fat boy. I'm still average looking. Honestly, I actually like the way I look. I'd say I'm probably like a 5 out of 10, but I have a good body, so it doesn't really matter, right? Yeah. It's when you start to attract women, you really start to realize women for what they are. They're just people just like you. And when you take a break from social media, but it's also when you start attracting, because you pedestalize them like it was some form of promised land, like God said to the Israelites. But then you get the female attention. Like, oh, it's just so common. It becomes identity. Yeah, of course I attract this, and you just get on with your life like I do. You're just focused on your goals. Shouldn't pedestalize women. It's not an attack on women. Funny thing is, women actually repelled to people who chase them, and I've seen this in many contexts. Many contexts in streets. Obviously there's the internet, but they're repelled because it's basically the man saying, "I'm below you, let me chase." You know what I'm saying? And like I told you, it's not the natural order of things because naturally, man's meant to be positioned higher than obviously the woman. They submit to the man. That's how it's meant to be. But social media has really rigged our mindsets and messed us up in that regard. So I'm hoping with this video you can really take it into heart. My videos are in black and white, and my videos are in black and white. They're all in black and white, so you can really absorb the words I'm saying. I'm telling you, the trees here are quite beautiful, but I'm not going to put color because I do see it as a distraction. I want you to really absorb the value of my words, hence why my videos are black and white. And I make the tone a bit darker as well so you can really absorb it. So there's no distractions here. So if you made it this far into the video, you probably have a #1 attention span, and I commend you for that. And you're probably really interested in, self-improvement, and you really care about making progress in your life. And you're like me, you schedule your days, you're not like wasting time. Depedestalizing women is so freeing. It's so nice because I can actually walk up to a woman right now and speak with no thoughts of anxiety in my head. And when you're breathing fully from your chest to your stomach, I'm going to make a video on that. It makes the experience 10 times easier. wrong with having a good body. You're just a fool to be scared. I've never seen a guy with a great physique be nervous. Not once, ever. Get in shape, man. Stop pedestalizing women. I'm telling you, it won't only benefit your lives, it will benefit them. Watch, they'll start chasing after you. I'm telling you, that's how it works. Women are attracted to people that care about themselves, not to people that chase them. Every time, I promise you. Promise, that's a promise for a fact. I'm telling you. If you don't believe me, go try it yourself. Go chase and see how it ends up for you. Go focus on yourself and see them all come to you. Don't pedestalize, focus on yourself, okay? I hope you gain value in this video. Adios.